Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining this session on joining and building communities in the health and nutrition industry, in the supplement industry. There's some show announcements. I don't want to read through all of those. Hopefully you've been looking at them as you've been sitting. Lots of important information, including Wi-Fi. And we'll get started. I am so excited to bring this presentation to the Supply Side stage. My name is Sandy Almendarez. I'm Vice President of Content here at Supply Side. And these two individuals represent organizations that are doing amazing work within the supplement industry to make it more welcoming and more inclusive and more equitable. And I couldn't be prouder of these two people and the organizations that they represent. And I wanted in this session to get into the operations and the hows and the whys behind and the origin stories, and maybe, just maybe, inspire others to create similar organizations to help build the even more inclusivity within the supplement industry. So I won't drone on and on about how excited I am. We can just get to the content. Our first speaker today is Franck Gillette, and he is the co-founder of Naturally Proud Network. That's who he's representing. He's also Vice President of Sales at Nexira. And then following Franck will be Michelle Martin. She is the CEO and President of Cypress Systems, as well as the Chair of Engagement at Women in Nutraceuticals, often called WIN for short. Okay.
You guys need to stop.
Yeah, he's saying cheer for him too. And I love seeing all of the friends in the audience. All right, Franck, let's hear it.
It's working. Oh, wow. I'm going to stand up.
Fabulous.
Well, thank you, Sandy.
Oh, and here, sorry, here's your clicker.
Oh, yeah, I have this as well. Well, very proud to be here. Thank you very much, Sandy, for giving us the opportunity to talk more about NPN, Naturally Proud Network. I did not prepare anything, so I will speak with my heart and the PowerPoint. And I think that will hopefully deliver the message we want to give with our nonprofit. So I'll press on this. When I was asked to do this presentation, I was like, okay, what does it mean to create a diverse community in the food supplement industry? And I focus on developing a sense of belonging. And what I did is I actually used ChatGPT, and I put, what does joining a building inclusive community means? And this is what ChatGPT gave me. And at the end of the day, I think it's right. It's a need for a sense of belonging for the LGBTQ community in our industry. We started to work on this nonprofit because, honestly, I did not think I belonged. I was not going to any of the events, like the golf event. Everyone is familiar with those golf events. Some might enjoy them. I don't. And I feel like it's kind of like weird, right? So the idea was to create this space, and I put on this slide here the key dates on the genesis of NPN. It started with two people, Ken Seguin and Randy here. They met at a convention, NBJ. They were at a dinner. They were talking with other colleagues. And at one point, you talk about your life. You talk about your wife. You talk about your kids. And Ken talked about his husband. And that was weird. And Randy was here, and he was like, I think this is the first time someone is showing this. Like, it's weird. I don't know. And those two people decided, like, well, I think we need to create something. They called me. They called another person, and here we go. We created NPN. We had a first meeting here at Supply Side West in 2018. Our first event was in 2019, and we became an official nonprofit in 2019. Our goal is to create events where you belong. You come to our event and we have something in common. You belong to the LGBTQ community. In LGBTQ, there is allies. Most of our event, there is people that just want to support us, and I see plenty here. But it was not enough, so creating the event was good, but we wanted to give back, so we also raise money and we give our donation to local nonprofit. And I realize I'm speaking way too much. Okay. I look at the timing and Michelle is like, I need to talk to. This is the board member. Everyone has been key in trying to help us to spread the word about Naturally Proud Network. Crystal is here. She's our vice president. Steve is here. Yeah, you can applaud if you want. I mean, they are a big part of who we are. And we will not have this organization without those people. I'm not trying to do promotion for those companies, but those companies are supporting us. That means they are okay with the flag, with the rainbow flag. They are okay with LGBTQ. They are okay to be on our website. So they are sending a message to the industry. We need more of those. And it's not easy to get those because they have sometimes, it's not in their culture as a company. And on this slide, I listed Informa because I think they are probably our biggest supporter. And I cannot thank enough Informa for helping us in creating those events. This nonprofit will not be existing without Informa. So I want everyone to know that. So, and you and everyone, and I see plenty of people of Informa. Making a difference inside the industry, making a difference outside of our industry. Since we started NPN, we donated more than $47,000 to local nonprofits. And we are planning to, yep. It's a lot. It's helping those communities. And that's all the centers that we help in Las Vegas and everything. And I think I'm going to end my presentation by telling you that we have a networking event tonight. It's tonight. We are going to give a donation to a local nonprofit. It's a sense of belonging. You all belong because you are listening to me. So come tonight at 5:30. I took way too much.
Well, also I want to thank you, Sandy, for inviting me to speak, and also for Women in Nutraceuticals for the opportunity to be involved. So Women in Nutraceuticals was founded to empower women to reach their personal and professional potential. And we're doing that aiming to drive gender equity, to advance the nutraceutical industry as a whole. So WIN started in the minds of many people prior to November 21, but a pandemic had happened, and it took that collective of 10 people coming together and kind of sharing an idea and saying, you know what, there comes a point when a great idea becomes a fantastic idea, and you have to stop talking about it and just take action. And so in November of 21, we finally decided to take action. And it's pretty hard to get a group of 10 type A personalities together and not find action. And so it really took all of us collectively working together to make WIN happen. And here's a couple of pictures of those beginning stages when we would come together. That was actually the picture right underneath that saying. Was us at Supply Side West. And so that was 2 years ago. And it's come so far since then. So in 1 year, we have accomplished quite a few things. So we have 400 members and an amazing team of volunteers. We're launching our membership, our mentorship class soon. We have a great following on LinkedIn and 50 sponsors and partners. We won an award this year from MBJ, and we also achieved our 501c3 status. So it has been an amazing year, and it took everyone collectively to make that difference. For you.
Okay, I want to go back to the just to the title slide so everyone knows your names. I'm very high tech here, everybody. Okay, wonderful. Well, now we have some time for Q&A. So we've got Ashley back here with the microphone in case anyone has a question for either of them. I have questions too, so unless there's, I can.
Crystal? You have a question?
Crystal has a question. You could tell. You just knew.
I know her. I mean,
You could tell. Oh, there's the mic.
Have either of you been involved in this type of organization before this, or is this kind of like your first venture into nonprofit and also kind of a diversity-themed organization?
No, it's my first. I know Crystal, right? But it's the first time I was involved in this. And it was exciting at the beginning because you are like, we are friends, we want to create this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't say on my LinkedIn profile that I'm gay, right? It does say that you're a woman, normally. But I had to thought about like, okay, if I'm part of this, I'm out. I'm not in the closet anyway, you know, but like now I'm making it like a statement on my LinkedIn profile on who I am as a person and all of this. And that did require a little bit of like self-reflecting, saying, do I want to do this? Is it good for me? And whatever. The fact that I have to think about it is wrong in the first place. But it's the first time. I'm really happy that I made this move. And I am who I am, but everyone knew that, but now it's obvious.
Just to answer your question for myself, yes, I was involved with the Central California Women's Conference for 20 years, and it's not the exact same type of organization, but it is founded to empower women. And so we have a collective conference that happens one day a year, and there's 3,500 women that come to that. And we have speakers on different topics throughout the day that can speak to that. So it was when I entered into the nutraceutical industry and I saw a gap from what I could see being in other industries that I thought, wow, this is, you know, a health and wellness industry, and we would want our businesses to be healthy as well. And so kind of drawing from that women's conference is then what got me asking people if anything was like that here in this industry.
Thank you. Heather Granado.
For both of you, what would you say is the path forward to have the industry be more inclusive and welcoming? And what are the benefits to the industry being more inclusive and welcoming to people of all genders and sexual orientation and colors and backgrounds?
You'll start on it.
Okay. First of all, I think we need to model it. And I think that we need to collectively be what we want to see the industry become. And through action, not just through conversation. Because it's one thing to talk about something, but when you can take that idea and turn it into action, I think that's when people begin to get the energy to come alongside and create more industry, more communities, or make a real big difference. So.
It's funny because like earlier today, I was thinking about Supply Side West, and I'm like, it's a family reunion. Here, it's a family reunion. We all love this industry. I love it. It's a small industry. Everyone knows each other. And as a family, you have the crazy uncle. This is a crazy customer that comes to your booth all the time and you're like, seriously. And you have the cousins, you have your gay friends, you have your, you have this. It feels like a family because we all belong to the same industry, but that stopped there. I still struggle to tell people that I have a partner. I still limit myself in sharing that news with customers. How can we work to make that different? I think it's not only in this industry, it's in the world itself, but it's being more visible, like having those type of events, having the rainbow color appear somewhere, talking about it, talking about what we are doing, and it will come. It will take a long time, I think, but I'm limiting myself in what I'm sharing to the people. So I think it will benefit everyone. And I see the people coming to our event. They've been in the industry 40 years, and they are like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. I cannot believe you guys did that. Finally, there is a place where we belong. So it's growing. We just want to do more. At NPN, we just want to do more. We know we can do a lot more than what we are doing, and we need new resources, right? But I'm talking too much.
You are not. You are on stage to talk. Tracy.
For companies that are resistant to signing on or think maybe these groups can't truly make a difference, what would you say to them?
Well, do you want me to start?
Yeah.
I'm getting comfortable here. How long is this session? Yeah, there is some resistance from companies supporting us. Yes, absolutely. And I work for Nexira, that's the company that employs me. Were there any resistance at the beginning? Probably. My CEO is not here, but he will be here, I will say exactly the same. I think we had to go into 2 or 3 years of the organization being legit and whatever, so they could be a sponsor and back us up. So yes, there is some resistance. But that's the reason I wanted to see the name of the company that are supporting us, because they are making a difference. And after, we also need to do a better job as reaching out to those companies. It's just, we are all volunteers and there is not enough resources. So I'm sure we can get much more companies, but yeah, the resistance is here. That's obvious to me.
How do we overcome that? As an ally, if I want to be an ally.
Yeah.
How do we?
Yeah.
I think that's terrible. Oh, sorry.
We want the mic. There's a recording, so let's
Oh,
make sure.
sorry. So what I was saying is just, if we want to be allies to you and help support both these groups, if we're hearing resistance from people, what could we say to them to emphasize why everybody should get involved?
Well, they should come to our event first, because they will see that it's mainly allies. I think there is a misconception. I'm talking about NPN as LGBTQ oriented, that, it's going to be those gays, those lesbians, those whatever. No, it's mainly allies that are coming, that want to support us. The resistance will not be apparent. They will not tell you that they are resisting. They will just not show up. That's it. You will not find anyone that says I'm against NPN, or because they will feel, threatened. But they are just not coming. So how do we make them come? By talking, by having key opinion leaders supporting us. Heather, you've been supporting us from the beginning. You're well known. You're spreading the word. People trust you. Yes, when Heather talks about NPN, some key players are like, okay, I believe her, and I cannot back it, I cannot say something different. Here we go. That was my highlight for you.
Michelle, do you want to comment?
Well, I think that resistance happens, and I think we have to listen. And I have a very dear friend who works in the industry, and she is not a WIN supporter. And we have had some really strong conversations over cocktails of why she believes that there shouldn't be an organization like WIN. And I'm having a significant role in WIN, and why I believe there should be. but we're still friends. And so we talk and we listen. And I think over time we will see, but we can still work together and support each other and have a friendship. But I haven't figured that out yet. I'll let you know if I change her mind.
You talk a lot about action, right? Speaking louder than words. But I do think what you're suggesting also, and just opening the conversation as a start. So that is an action. I just want to emphasize, I don't think we talk enough about it and the reality. So I guess I just want to emphasize that. But to that point, what actions have you taken or seen successfully taken within larger organizations to help drive some of that change and openness and inclusion that's needed?
Yeah, so I can speak on behalf of WIN. We are working with our sponsors and trying to, we had a feedback virtual meeting with them and tried to get input of what they're doing in their organizations and how WIN can support that. But then what we found out is really they're wanting WIN to help support them of how we can help them drive change. And so we're still navigating that, and being an all-volunteer organization, we can't tackle all of it in this first year, but that is how we're going to begin to feed into our sponsors and then learn from our sponsors too of some of the things that they've done for their organizations.
And what are you doing within the companies that you represent?
Oh, that we represent. Well, at Cypress, it's a female-led company now, and so that's a good start. We do have a number of females in there, but we are about gender equity, and it's really about finding the best person, not just the right gender, and we feel really strongly about that. But I also want to have a diverse company. We're a smaller company, so we don't have a lot of people, but diversity is something that, as a leader, that I'm really trying to pay attention to.
And on this question of the company, so I work for a company that is a family-owned, 125 years old, fourth generation. So you can imagine, it's not the most, I don't know what to say in English, they are conservative, it's, yeah, right? But we had a global seminar in France in June, and they were talking about how the company valued the employees and everything, and that's part of the philosophy of the companies. And in one of the presentations, the logo of Naturally Proud Network appeared because they are sponsored. I was floored to have on my company a rainbow and someone from the company saying we are supporting diversity and LGBTQ. I was like, I achieved my mission, I can tell you this. That was amazing to me. But it's for a company like my company, and I've been working for this company for 18 years. To make this step was like huge. So I think all those companies should make these changes. It takes time. It takes time.
So I had a question. I identify with Naturally Proud Network, and I identify with WIN. But how about for other people in the industry who belong to another marginalized group that don't have a place to go or a place of belonging? And there's also, I know I talked to Crystal just briefly in an email thread about intersectionality. What are your thoughts about that?
Thank you for this question. I'm getting a tough question. Well, we started this because we felt we did not belong. If you have like the African American community, the Latino community, the people with needs community that feel that they don't belong, unfortunately, nothing is going to happen if not two persons are connecting and says, you know what, we are going to change this. And we are going to build something. So, and at the beginning, I was doing it not to do something good and whatever. I was being very selfish. I wanted to create a space where I feel good. I created this space. So those people that does not feel like they belong in NPN or WIN, and that's the reason I think you set that up. You know, it's how we can motivate people to create new organization. I said it's like if you have a friend, if you have someone that you know, you said it's easy. And they can always talk to me, to Crystal, to you, saying how did you do it? How did you achieve it? It's a lot of work, it's rewarding, but it's not that complicated at the end.
Oh, did you want to?
No, go ahead. I think he said it all. It's people coming together and saying, we're going to do this, and then doing it.
I want to ask about that collaboration. So at both of the organizations, it's a collection of industry members who work all in one industry, but they could be even competitors, and some say in one field, and then working together over here. You mentioned a lot of type A personalities. So how are decisions made at each of the organizations, and how do you manage the collaboration and making sure everyone feels heard in groups that are supporting inclusivity?
I think, you focus on what's right and not who's right. And you come with the mindset of your passion and your vision, and work is secondary at that point. When I'm thinking about WIN, I don't look at the other members as a competitor or as a customer or any of those things. They are people that I'm working together with to make an industry better. And so it's really focusing on what's important.
Want me to answer that? Yeah, absolutely right. Yes, there is competition in the board of NPN. That's true. That's not a problem. All of this is also business opportunity. Okay. We are here for a good cause, the women, the LGBTQ. Did I get any new customers or new contact going through all of this? Absolutely. So it helps business. So at the end, yes, there is competition in the board, but from all the people that I met through NPN with the networking event, that's outbalance everything. It's good for business.
That's great. That's a really great answer. And since we're on the topic of business, we probably only have one question left. Let's talk about raising money. It takes money to run organizations. How do you do that and make sure that you're properly funded so you can achieve these wonderful goals?
You ask. We talk to a lot of people, but we also try and deliver on the value, and we're still trying to figure out the best ways to do that, but we're in communication with our sponsors, talking to them. What are you wanting? What brings value to you? And then what in turn can bring value to us. And so you have to get bold when you have to ask, though.
It's not easy. When we created NPN, we said it's free. Everything that we are doing is free. The events are free. You don't pay to enter LGBTQ community. You're supposed to be welcoming. So it's free. All the money we are getting from our sponsors, we give it back. We try to get sponsors, and again, credit to Informa for helping us because we'll not be there. But it's not easy to raise money. We want to raise more, just to give more. That's really our target. It's not the money that is the problem, really. It's the time. I feel it's the time because all the board, we are very busy. And we just don't have enough time. So I think rather than money, I would ask for more volunteers, more people helping, and that will bring money.
I think it takes both, and the visionaries need the volunteers, but the volunteers need a vision, and so it's a real collaboration. But time, I know, for WIN has been a problem.
I have 1 minute left, so I'm going to stretch it and ask a question, because I was going to ask about the volunteers. It takes so many volunteers to run the organization, and also how do you partner with the right volunteers that are, that want to follow the same vision and are reliable and passionate?
What we found is the ones that show up, because there's a lot of people who will say that they're going to volunteer and then they don't show up. But for us, having a volunteer chair has been critical.
Not my timer. Keep going.
Having a volunteer chair has been critical because they understand what volunteers need. They can provide the processes and the support, and especially with visionaries who don't understand those nuanced details, that our volunteer chair has been golden to win and very critical.
And quickly, I think NPA needs to learn from you did at WEN. You did it so fast and so well. We are much smaller, but I think we need to learn from that. We need volunteers at NPM. I think we are reaching our critical size that we are not enough. And we saw the vision when we created that, and we are not there yet. So, and it comes with people and having more resources. There's so much that I can do. But we'll talk after. At least it's networking, right? I learned from what you guys did. So.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Franck and Michelle, for joining me, and for, of course, being parts of the organizations and what you're doing for the industry. It really means so much.
Well, thank you for talking about this topic, because it's an important one, and it'll make our industry better.
And thank you all for coming. Thank you very much.